Hi, my name is Felix, student of Oak Bay High School in Victoria, BC. I'm part of the English class with Mr. Mackenzie in Block 4. Our topic right now is one of the most famous works of the well-known playwright William Shakespeare and one of the most popular plays in English literature, Macbeth. My class and I were reading the first chapters in Shakespeare's playbook and having a closer look on the man himself. Furthermore, we started analyzing significant quotes in the play, especially about our main topic, ambition between Lady Macbeth and Macbeth. In this video, I will tell you the main information about Shakespeare, his life, and about his play, Macbeth. William Shakespeare was an English poet, playwright, and actor, widely regarded as the greatest writer in the English language and the world's preeminent dramatist. He is often called England's national poet. He is one of the best writers until today and created tons of bestsellers, which we're still reading, although those works are from the 16th and 17th century. Everything started when he was born in April 1564 in Stratford-upon-Avon in the UK. He went to the local grammar school in Stratford with the age of 7. At the age of 18, Shakespeare fell in love with the considerably older Anne Hathaway, who was 26 years old and comes from Shottery. They married in the same year of November the 27th at Temple Grafton, a village close to Stratford. In 1583, their first child was born, just 5 months after Shakespeare and Anne Hathaway's wedding. Her name is Susanna. 1595 is a busy year for Shakespeare, as he thought to have composed Richard II, performed that very same year A Midsummer Night's Dream, thought to be composed for a wedding, and the greatest love story of all time, Romeo and Juliet. The Globe Theatre is opening in 1599. Julius Caesar is performed at the Globe for the first known time on September the 21st. When King James came to the throne in 1603, he issued a royal license to Shakespeare and his fellow players, organizing them as the King's Men. During King James' reign, Shakespeare wrote many of his most accomplished plays about courtly power, including King Lear, Macbeth, and Antony and Cleopatra. In 1609 and 1611, Shakespeare's sonnets were published, though he didn't live to see the first folio of his plays published in 1623. 1613, the Globe Theatre burns to the ground, but reopens in 1614 again. 3 years later, William unfortunately dies on April 23, 1616. His burial being recorded in the Stratford Holy Church register 2 days later. 1632, Shakespeare's wife Anne Hathaway dies, which is also the year when Macbeth was printed. To the world, he left a lasting legacy in the form of 38 plays, 154 sonnets, and 2 narrative poems. When William Shakespeare died in his birthplace of Stratford-upon-Avon, he was recognized as one of the greatest English playwrights of his era. In the 4 centuries since, he has come to be seen as not only a great English playwright, but the greatest playwright in the English language. Reflecting upon the achievement of his peer and sometimes rival, Ben Jonson wrote of Shakespeare, "He was not of an age, but for all time." With the invention of the printing press in 1474 and the increasing popularity of reading books made it possible for us to still study these works, which makes Shakespeare timeless. But reading Shakespeare's works brings also some problems with. Nowadays, with the change of the English language, we are not able to understand all the vocabulary Shakespeare was using. With his 29,000 vocabulary, he is definitely streets ahead of us. Furthermore, not all of his works were meant to be read, like his playbooks, which were consisting of body language, tone, significance, and understanding, which made it hard for us to read. Anyways, he was one of the greatest playwrights in the English language and definitely enriched the literature at all. Lastly, I would like to present a significant quote out of the play Macbeth concerning the topic ambition. The raven himself is a horse that crows the fatal entrance of Duncan. Under my battlements come you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts, and sex me here, and fill me from the crown to the toe top full. Of direst cruelty make thick my blood, stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no compunctions visitings of nature shake my fell purpose, nor keep peace between the effect in it. Come to my woman's breast, and take my milk for gall, you merging ministers. Wherever in your sightless substances you wait on nature's mischief, come thick night, and palt thee in the dunnest smoke of hell, that my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the blanket of the dark. This is the part of the monologue of Lady Macbeth after receiving the letter of her husband, who got the prophecy of becoming Thane of Cawdor and king soon. After figuring out that the first prophecy became true and Macbeth got promoted to the Thane of Cawdor, she is planning the final plan to become the most powerful woman and Macbeth the most powerful man in the country, namely king and queen. For that, King Duncan has to disappear, but waiting for his death would take too long. Which brings Lady Macbeth to a crazy idea to organize an assassination of the king. But she's noticing that her husband isn't strong enough to fulfill the role of a man and don't want to kill Duncan, which brings us to the named quote, when Lady Macbeth assumes the role of man and calls the spirits to unsex her and making her strong to accomplish the quest. This quote shows Lady Macbeth's will of ambition clearly, which persuade her to change her gender to reach her goals to kill the king. She needs all the power of the spirits, which she is calling on to make her blood thick and take out the milk of her breasts to reach the full ability of man. She is led by her enormous ambition to become the most powerful person in the country, which persuades her to do anything what she normally rather would not prefer to do. The ambition makes her aggressive, brutal, and transformed her in a monster.